Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about something very important. This relates to a question I received on one of my videos. I'm not sure honestly which one it was, but the question was, how do you build a matchup game plan? Like, how do you work a matchup out? So I want to pick a random select and I will show you at least my process for figuring out a matchup, like figuring out a game plan in a matchup. And we will totally random select this, right? So random select player 1 and player 2. We will see which matchup we are gonna get and how we can work around it, right? So we got Laura versus Urian. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can work with that one. Pretty cool. So when I look out at a matchup like this as Laura versus Urian, right? First of all, I have to define what are my character strengths and what are my opponent's strengths. Laura, of course, is a grappler, right? You want to be very close to your opponent and you want to mix them up and get the W. Urian is a more of a jack of all trades. He can do a little bit of everything, right? So when I try to break down a matchup like this, I have to think, alright, where is the range where I can beat my opponent? Like, where can I play? And looking at this, pretty much here, like this very close proximity distance. Here I can challenge with my standing medium kick, my crouching medium punch, my heavy, standing heavy kick. All of these tools are pretty decent in that range. So when I try to figure out a matchup like this, I have to think, how do I close the gap to my opponent, right? So let's first check it out. Let's check out what can we do to close the gap. What are Urian's options? First of all, of course, the fireball, right? He's gonna fireball me. So what can I do about it? If I'm standing from a far distance, maybe neutral jumping is a decent option, right? If from this range, if I jump like that, can Urian anti-air? And let's check it out. If I did the same thing with Urian, and maybe he will try to do his forward medium punch, right? We'll see it again. So maybe he can anti-air from some distances. Maybe if I'm not fast enough. Can I keep up with him in the fireball war and get some distance in? Alright, let's check it out. Seems really hard, but seems like you can do it. Especially if I charge my fireball or if I release an EX1. Okay, maybe I can get in that way. Alright, so maybe against this I can, but what can I do about him if he has his V-skill 2? Because typically Urian will have his V-skill 2, right? He's gonna run away and he's gonna charge his V-skill 2 and then release it. Let's do the medium fireball because this is the fast one. Alright, this is more like it, right? So when I'm at this range, when I try to approach, what can I do? I pretty much have to block this. Can I... If I see him charge my V-skill, can I try to charge a fireball? No, not really. I can do it in reaction to this, I'm gonna get beat. So regarding this, can I neutral jump it? A little bit tricky, but I can. And if he does that, I can get a jump. So this tells me that when he is charging his fireball, my best option will be to jump forward. Because if he's charging, he's gonna charge it from some distance, so a dash forward is fine. Can I challenge him for this? If I'm from this distance, this doesn't reach, alright, mid-screen. I can interrupt the V-skill charge. So from mid-screen distance, I can do this. Can I react to this? Let's now put out this sequence and see, can I react to the V-skill charge and punish it? I kinda can, alright? So if he tries to do this, I will try to keep this range, maybe get a jump in. If he does this, I will react with my EX elbow. Let's try to check it out again. I want to react to it. Alright, so this reaction kinda works. That's fine. So now I know that I can maybe try to use my fireballs to close the distance. If he does the fireball, the V-skill fireball, from this far, I can maybe try to neutral jump or jump forward and that would be relatively safe. And I know that if he's charging his V-skill and I am from about the 3/4 screen range, my EX elbow will work. That is fine. Now let's check out what are his other approach options. If Urian is in the mid screen, he can do a sequence like that one. Let's check out this again. So maybe something like this. Let's check this out again. It was the first one. Or was it the third one? It was the third one. So maybe I can get a punish here. So even if he charges his fireball, I can kinda get a armored punch here. Okay, that's fine. Let's check out his neutral tool and my neutral tool, and what are the issue with Yurian neutral tool. If I'm talking about the... Let's turn off the display now. If we're talking about this range, if we're talking about this distance, how can I deal with his normals? Let's check out first the... Let's record him from this distance. And let's check out what can I do about the crouching medium kick. Because this is gonna be the biggest issue, right? What can I do about this if I expect it? Seems like my standing heavy kick is pretty decent at that. Can my standing light kick do work here? Seems like standing light kick is really good as well. So maybe using my standing light kick against his standing medium kick, our crouching medium kick is actually really good, right? Can my crouching heavy punch work? Kind of preemptive. But so far seems like the standing light kick is the best answer. Okay, so now I know that this is a really good answer. Fine then, what about his other normals? What about his standing medium kick? Let's record him and let's turn all this off and record him doing the standing medium kick. Because this is also really good. And while we're at it, let's also record him doing this forward heavy kick. Let's first check out the standing medium kick. From this distance it's -2, so if I happen to block it, what can I do? Seems like doing a standing medium kick, kinda tricky. So maybe I can try to counter poke with my own standing medium kick. That seems like a decent option. Alright, what about his coral kick? How negative is that? -4. -4 if I try to block it. Seems like my standing light kick is a good answer. Kinda tricky. But at a range like that, I think you can kind of punish it. Yeah. So maybe I could work on that. Fine. So I know now that my standing light kick is good versus his crouching medium kick. Urians loves that. And against his other pokes, I can maybe try to use my standing medium kick. Seems like my standing medium kick is fast from this distance. So from this range, this is nice and this is also really good. Alright, what else? Let's talk about his other options. Let's talk about his knee. What can I do about it? Let's check out a sequence like that. Well, how can I anti-air this? Will my standing medium punch work? Seems like it can work if I expected it. Late maybe? Alright. Can I get a heavy punch event? Alright, I can get the heavy punch elbow anti-air. But it still kinda seems tricky, right? So maybe now we get that maybe if I see him do the elbow, standing medium punch seems like the most best answer here. That's fine. Alright, now let's then check out another tool that he have. Let's check out the Aegis, and let's first check out what are his defensive options. What happens if he tries to wake up with an EX headbutt, for example? How can I bait it during my block string? So for example, if I'm doing a block string like that one, that wasn't a meaty. You have to get it to say reversal. Okay, so this would be correct. Okay, let's now check out a command grab situation. If I dash forward, can I meaty and block? And let's let him try to do it on wake up. So I can't really do that. Can I do the elbow and block? I can't. So seems like you have to hard call out the... Seems to me like you can't really dash up and try to meaty him without while blocking this. Can maybe I do a crouching light punch? I can't. Alright. So it seems like after a command grab, his EX headbutt is a true option. It's something that I have to worry about because I'm not at plus frames. I have to respect it. I can't meaty him while I am able to also protect myself from the headbutt. Alright, that's good. It's good to know this information because now when I go for my command grab options, this set me up that I know that I have to worry a little bit about it. I have to bait it. I have to maybe tease a walk forward and then block, and this will get me to punish it, right? Fine, let's then check out our other knockdowns, like after this. I can't also do jab. Can I? Standing jab doesn't work. Let's try out our crouching jab. Crouching jab doesn't work. Let's try out... We're doing the heavy punch elbow. Doesn't seem like you can knock him down and go for a safe meaty here. Yeah. I'm trying out most of my light and to see what can actually work here. Seems like you can't really meaty him with something and be able to block the headbutt, which is kind of unfortunate. Because this is one of Laura's best knockdown. Of course, this is the same thing. Yeah. So now I know that out of either of these knockdowns, I can't really check with lights while being completely safe. That kinda stinks, right? But at least now I have this information. So maybe I will alter my pressure sequences a little bit. So instead of doing that, I can maybe try to walk forward and block, or maybe threaten a fireball. So maybe I can do something like this. He can also punish this. EX is the same. So seem like dashing up and blocking is a legit option here. We're not at enough frame advantage to really do much. Well, maybe light punch elbow? Still punishable, huh? What about the EX? Seems like you can actually get the light punch maybe. But maybe with a walk forward? Yeah. So it does seem like Urian have good options on these knockdowns, so at least maybe you will alter your options a little, at least alter the pressure options a little bit. Of course, you also have to worry about the regular headbutt. This is something that I also have to consider. For example, when he wakes up from the ground, he can also do regular headbutt. And this will beat my command grab loop, for example. So if we here have him do that, I try to do my EX command grab, he can wake up with a headbutt, which is problematic. So at least now I know my options. Now I know that after these two setups, I can't rush in, do lights, and meaty him while also being able to block against his EX headbutt. This is good information. Fine, now let's then talk about his... Of course, dealing with something like his Aegis and the different setups is gonna depend on how you know the Urium matchup in general and how you block against it. So let's check out what happens. How can I punish his second mirror activation? Because this is pretty important. So he will put out a first mirror here. Let's save the state. Now it's gonna place this back. Alright, that's great. So let's check out the shortcut settings. It's gonna be now replace as saved status. What can we do here? Okay, I can get sweep on the second activation. That's fine. That's fine. So it does seem like you have to go for a sweep or... Oh, you get standing heavy punch. That's fantastic. But seems like I have to block it standing. Nah. Maybe walk a little bit forward and do it. Seems really risky. Seems like sweep is the most reliable option here. Seems like the sweep is the best. Maybe crushing medium kick, also that gets hit. So for this, now I know that I have to punish it with a sweep, right? Now I know that this is my most valuable option. Even if I get hit by the second mirror, I kinda ended his pressure. That is great. Like now I know this. So I know now that I can't really meet him on wake up with relative safety. I know how to deal with him a little bit in the neutral. I have to check out some of his pressure sequences and how I can deal with it. When we are up close, I know that I have the advantage. I know that the entire game plan is gonna be getting to this situation. I know that if he's charging his V skill 2, I can do my light punch or EX elbow. And I know that even on a... Let's check out a regular charge then. Let's check out a regular charge. And let's check out something else. If he happened to do a sequence like that one, can I use my EX command grab there? There's a lot of delay to that one. This is a true block string. Can't do much here. Doesn't seem like you can do much here. Right. So against this block sequence, what are our options? What can we do here? Alright, so you can't standing light kick. Medium kick is also really risky. I can backdash. Can I punish it if I backdash? Okay, so if I do backward V skill, I can kinda get a punish here. That's fine. Can I get a medium or an EX? You can. That's really, really good. So if I see him start to charge, maybe I can get a backwards V skill and be able to punish him. That's really nice. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. And that's pretty much how you break down a matchup. You want to check out the different options in the neutral, your knockdowns, what are your options, what are his options, and what you can do about them. I know this is like super simplistic, it goes a longer way than that, and one of the better options is to of course check out professional replays and see what the pro players are doing and how they are able to handle it. But you have to make certain that the pro players are playing on a different level. So you want to check your opponent key moves and basically get a good idea about what you want to do. It's kind of weird that I got a matchup with a character like Laura who have a very straightforward game plan, and it can be a little bit more complicated if the matchup isn't as straightforward. But anyways, that is pretty much it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.